Welcome to The Gorgeous Effect, the podcast that's about to rock your marketing world. I'm Julie Chanel, and with my co-founder, Cathy Olson, we're the masterminds behind Funnel Gorgeous and FG Funnels. We're about to drop some serious tea on how to create funnels that not only look amazing, but actually convert into customers. We'll chat mouth-watering offers, copy, design, and give you an inside look of some of our best and worst funnels. No smoke and mirrors, just real strategies that work from two ladies who have been around the funnel block. So grab your coffee or something stronger, we won't judge, and get ready to unleash the gorgeous effect on your business. It's time to show the world what you've got. Let's do this. Hey everyone, this is Julie and Cathy. Welcome back to The Gorgeous Effect. Today, we are going to talk about all the software companies that are raising their prices. I always have to tell Cathy, we have a little discussion before we get on the mic and she starts talking. I'm like, stop, don't talk. Wait till we hit record because she's got great things to say today. So
I was like, and then I was thinking, and you're like, yeah, stop it.
Just let us hit record. So you might have noticed that some of the software companies you love, places like Kajabi, Kit, raising prices, not just raising prices for new customers, but actually raising prices on existing customers. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, what do you think's behind that? Why are they doing that? And I mean, obviously we're going to talk about the best type of pricing for you as the business owner. So go ahead, Kath, kick us off.
Yes. So the first time I noticed this was with Samcart. And so if you guys don't know, they recently switched to a model where it's pay like based on revenue. It's a percentage of your revenue versus flat. And so if you weren't making a lot of revenue, like it's basically the same. I forget exactly how much it is. Like, let's just say it's like $79 a month or something, right? And so like that didn't really change. But then it's based on revenue. And so if you were paying $79 a month and you were making good money, now you're paying $1,500 a month, right? So it's like almost like pulling it down for the beginners, but then the people who are actually doing well in their business were getting hurt. And so they were all scrambling, like people who are doing well, selling, tens of thousands or whatever a month, they're taking a huge percentage now. And now it's like, oh crap, we need to get off of this platform.
Oh,
at first I thought,
no. But I have to interrupt you because This is one of those underbelly things that most people don't know unless you've run a SaaS.
Yeah.
Most SaaS companies don't actually love big users. Because there's something like, so if we use Samcart as an example, and guys, this is all just theory. I don't actually know Samcart's motive, so just take it with a grain of salt. But what I do know is that there's like a bell curve, and most software companies want mid users, like users that are sticky enough that they don't churn, but not so big that they wear and tear on the infrastructure of their customer support team, their data centers, all that kind of stuff. And so once you become a big player, you become more of a liability to those software companies. And then in the uber beginners, people like them, but they also don't like them because they churn out because they're not making money. So when Samcart makes a change like this, it gets more people in at the beginning level because it's not that expensive, but it actually, like the big players, they either pay, like you said, double or triple, or they bounce, which sometimes those companies don't even mind because of what it's costing them infrastructurally to support a company that's that big.
Yeah, that's really, you're right. But we've talked about this before too. But yeah, I mean, they're a drain on the resources. They're actually using the majority of, either their storage space or their customer support or like whatever, right? Like they are actually using it. So, I mean, in theory, it makes sense to charge more when you're using it more. But the problem is it's a total rug pull, right? It's like once you start getting successful, now we're going to change it up on you. We want a bigger piece of the pie. And that's where it's like, ooh.
Well, the other thing is that a lot of these software companies that came up, they came up out of we used to pay for software as a one-time thing that you would download on your computer, like ScreenFlow, or if we want to go even older than that, we had the CDs and the discs, and like you'd pay for it, and then that would be it. And then SaaS, the cloud-based services, came online, and so a lot of these companies, were in that gold rush of SaaS, where it was like the idea of paying a monthly flat subscription already made their revenue so much more than a one-time fee. But now it's getting like people are going even more than just a monthly fee. Now it's per use. And while it is good for beginners per use for advanced people, if you haven't built your profit and loss statement around that pricing structure, it is
Right.
100% a rug pull because you go from, paying $400 a month to $4,000 a month in one price switch. I mean, it's a huge, huge adjustment.
And not to mention that you almost stay because they know how hard it is to move. And so it's almost like storage units. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have storage units and they start off at like, 200 $150 a month, $200 a month. And then like you store your crap there and it's nice not having that stuff in your house. And then all of a sudden next month it's $100 more and $100 more and $100 more. And now I'm paying for one of my storage units, I'm paying $800 a month for just a storage unit. And like, but I have to find a place for that crap. So like it's so hard. The moving is hard. And so I could go to another storage unit and be like, cool, I'll do $200 here. But then how long until that one goes up to, yeah, it's a whole racket. And this is why like being on storage in the storage unit, you want to own storage units, not not the other way around. But it's like that, right? They know that moving is hard. The bigger you are, the harder it is to move. And the more likely you're probably are going to pay it because you don't want to move. But it gets frustrating. You get, again, like you said, if you're not like anticipating that change, and this is all unprecedented too. Like a lot of these companies have never charged this much. Even I just actually just reminded me that school is doing this as well. They have like a beginner program now or a level now that
Mhm.
doesn't include basically anything until you start making money. So it seems like, oh, you could start these starter plans. Oh, start at like $10 a month or something they have now. But then as soon as you start making money, it goes way back up. So now it's just this tiered system where they have to equal each other out. So anytime a company is going to charge a very little amount, know that there's something on the other end that they are charging more for in order to cover the people who are not paying enough in
Right,
the beginning, right? It's almost like
right.
this
Well, and
system. Yeah.
so there's also the, so we're talking a little bit about pricing models, but there's also when companies change their price for new customers versus changing existing price for old customers. I mean, there's a big difference. We've raised our prices several times where we've said, okay, it's 119 a month, now it's 129 a month. But that's all for new customers and we're honoring the founding member rate. So Kajabi just did this and I have to admit, I did not read the whole blog post, but someone sent it to me. It was the most complicated blog post chart system to try to understand how the pricing was going to change. And I can't confirm this, but I think I saw someone on Facebook say that they've backtracked some of what they said because of the outrage that came, because they weren't just charging more for new customers, they were going to increase the rate for existing customers. And I don't know if they were changing the model or not, because I couldn't sit through the entire page, but it was really interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting to think about and also just like to postulate what does this mean for like the market? Like why is this happening into so many software companies? And of course, we're sitting over here going, well, we're not raising our prices. What's going like are we okay?
Yeah, like what?
We're
Wait,
if
we're not
anything,
doing
we're
that.
cutting our prices. Yeah, like we have deals going, that are like almost founding rate deals, right? So for us, we're like, well, not only do we not have tiered, everyone gets everything, right?
Mhm.
We don't hurt people when they like are being successful. Yeah, we're not raising prices. So I'm also like, wow, but we're not gonna raise prices obviously just arbitrarily, but it does make me kind of go, what's coming on the horizon that is like, making it so that people have to do this, right?
Yeah, and I don't really know the answer to it, but having been in the background of software companies or a software company, too, my own, ours, and then
Yeah.
ClickFunnels, I definitely have seen, the battle. People like see recurring revenue as a business model and like, ooh, I want that. And they never remember churn. Churn is just like the underbelly beast of recurring revenue. So it could be that. It could be costs going up, in
Mhm.
various places. I don't know. Even though the AI world is like, oh, your costs are going to go down because you're never going to have to hire anybody again, which is a joke and hilarious and not always true in complicated software customer support. It's hard to replace AI right away, but I would say this from a business owner perspective, if you are looking for software that you want to like stake your digital home on, that is very different than buying software that's like, oh, this is a cool little tool. Because when you're talking about like what's going to host your website, what's going to host your funnels, what's going to host your customer data, we're talking the big players, right? So we'll just name them. There's High Level, there's Kajabi, there's Kartra, there's ClickFunnels, Ontraport, Keep, and then there's tons of white labels of High Level. I mean, that's what we are, FG Funnels. Like you want to make sure that you're being connected to the one that you feel like you can stay committed to for the long haul because it's a big ask to build your digital home with a company and you want to make sure that company is really in it. And like you don't want a rug pull. Like you just
Yeah.
don't. And a rug pull, even for us as a white label, would be hugely disruptive and cause major issues. And so I am all for companies raising prices for sure on new customers, but I just really, I bristle at the raising prices for existing
Right.
customers who've come in. I don't know. I don't know why you would do that. Like, can't you think of a better way to make more money?
Yeah, I
Probably
mean
not.
that's exactly what the storage unit thing I'm talking about. Like I had no idea. I thought when you got in, you locked it in, and like it's not even month to month. Like they change it like per month. It'll go up, and then again, it's like a it doesn't change every month. It just I don't know. It's just arbitrary, like just whenever they feel like it. And then so we actually ended up calling them and saying, look, we could literally go and buy a new unit from you guys and just move it. So why wouldn't
Right.
you? Can you just reduce it? And they reduced it like $60 or something. So like we have a bigger plan. Get the heck out of there, and just obviously. But like you have no idea. You have no idea. I'm sure it says it in the contract and all that. But I didn't know that this was how they made their money. Is that they basically push you out, and that it's not long term storage. It's really just meant to be, for like moving and stuff like that. And we're just weird, and we have Halloween decorations and Christmas decorations and all kinds of weird stuff. So we just have to figure something else out. But I didn't even know that was a thing because yes, you're right. New customers are getting the low prices. And so it's weird because it like software, I don't even think they'd be able to do this because if you were to cancel and then you just keep canceling, right? Because there's not really like anything
Right.
like stopping you. Like you could just, and this actually, here's another example of this is Adobe products is this way. So if for new customers, they have a deal where I think it's like $29 a month and you get all of the Creative Suite software and there's SaaS also, several different, programs. And then once you're in for a while, now eventually it starts costing $59 a month. And so what happens is so now people know this, when you go to cancel, they give you an offer for sometimes it's like $0. They have some kind of algorithm. I don't know. Sometimes it's like $0 for 2 months or something like that. And then it goes back up. Other times, and then if you keep saying no, it gets you down to the intro rate and it'll lock you in for like a year at the intro rate. So people do this every single year. They're like, oh, it's that time to go to Adobe and start to threaten to cancel. And they have to be like one button away from canceling before they give you the real deal. They do this with Audible also. But all graphic designers know this. They're like, oh, well, it used to be Black Friday. You used to always every Black Friday you would do this. And I did this with us recently because I had forgotten about it. And I was like, oh, when we have two sets of Adobe accounts. And so lo and behold, I go in and I start, nope, canceling. And they're like, wait, here you go, $19 a month or something crazy. And then for next 6 months. And I'm like, yeah, but yeah, it's like, it's very,
That's
I don't know what,
ridiculous. I
I don't know
know.
what the
That's
word
so
is for it, but people know about it now. And they're like, there's videos showing you how to get the lower, how to get the lower price.
well, I guess they just figure that the people that there will always be people who like go to that length to do that, and then there'll be
Yeah.
people that just be like, that's not
Just
worth it,
forget about it.
like
Yeah. Well, I had forgotten about it. I forgot, that we were paying the full amount and then I saw it and I was like, "Oh, I need to go do that whole thing." But that's the thing with Adobe. There's nothing lives on Adobe, so I could cancel all those right now and just re-sign up with the intro price. And they know that. So that's why they do that because you could easily just keep canceling every time they start charging you more and lose nothing because nothing's hosted there
yeah,
versus, all the other guys where all of your list and funnels and websites and everything lives there, so it's a little easier to cancel or harder to cancel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, It goes without saying, if you are looking for a home for your online business, FG Funnels is the best place to be because it has the number one software, marketing automation software on the planet, high level, and you get the boutique feel and support and values of the Funnel Gorgeous community. We do not raise prices on our existing customers. We have no intention ever of doing that. We occasionally raise prices for new customers, which is why we love to incentivize people to join with us early. So if you are struggling under the weight of some of the changes around with Kajabi and Kit and other places, feel free to check us out at fgfunnels.com. We would love to have you in our community. And it's a good talk. Like it just reminds me of like the evolution of pricing and how we've just it's just like the goalpost just keeps moving. I wonder what's going to be next after like pay per use. Like, where do we go from here? It's just like capitalism just can't be satisfied, I guess.
Yeah, I also think it means that we should all audit our expenses. We actually did this with Funnel Gorgeous, where we went through a spreadsheet and we went through all of our monthly expenses on software, and it was a lot more than we thought. And there were several things we weren't using. So just one takeaway for you guys is to do that, is to go through and see everything that you're paying for your business. Are you using stuff, getting rid of stuff if you're not? And if you're paying more than $100 a month in combined all the things that FG Funnels does, then just get FG Funnels and have it all plus more that you're not yet. Like, and then you don't have to keep, adding up all these expenses with these like single use tools.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We're just getting started with this podcast, and we're so excited to have you on this journey with us. If you found value in today's episode, we'd be over the moon if you'd consider subscribing. It's like a virtual high five that keeps us going. And hey, if you're feeling extra gorgeous, leaving a review would mean the world to us. Your words not only make our day, but it also helps other amazing folks just like you find our show through your review. Lastly, if you know someone who could use a little sales pep talk, why not spread the love? Share this episode and let's grow this gorgeous community together.